Hi, welcome to the POW Weather Channel. Today we're going to be talking about some welcome rain moving into Texas and maybe even a Texas drought buster. Before we do get started, if you do like weather-related content, please consider subscribing to my channel and comment below if you found this video helpful and what you would like to see more of. All right, so let's get started. All right, so here is the latest Texas drought map. It releases every Thursday at around 7:30. And I know the last month or two, we've been really drying out in the state of Texas. So you can kind of see the severity kind of moving in. I know at DFW, where I live, we haven't seen a drop of rain, even though this is the fourth driest month, but it's coming off the second driest month, which is August. So you can see much of the state is even nobody's in an exceptional drought, but some are even to an extreme drought in parts of the state. But most of them are moving into the severe drought and even moderate drought. So we do need some welcome rain coming to Texas, and we might actually have that coming. All right, so let me walk you through this. If you were with my pattern change video a couple days ago, we talked about the sudden crash in the SOI Index. This is the Southern Oscillation Index. This is something I follow religiously. And you see we were in the enso neutral pattern that started on August the 8th. But here's a chart from the last month, all right, from August 18th through September 18th, essentially coming up in a couple days. So you can kind of see the downward trajectory of the sudden crash in the Southern Oscillation Index. So let me point you to the attention of the 90-day moving average. Whenever this moves to -8, that simply implies that we could be under a weak El Nino. So the enso neutral is in a phase that it could teeter back and forth to La Nina and to El Nino. So, because it's right on the neutral point, right? So we're going to have some times that we're going to be teetering, back and forth as we go throughout winter. All right, but right now we're actually transitioning to over the next couple of weeks into a weak El Nino phase. And what that's going to do is that's going to activate the Pacific jet and kind of create that lift for the Southern Oscillation, like I said, the Southern jet stream. So you have more opportunities for southwest flow and more moisture for the south and southeast regions. So I expect over the next couple weeks into October, we're going to be actually seeing above average precipitation moving into the south and the southeastern parts of the United States. All right. So I'm going to show you this other map. All right. So this is the Southern Oscillation Index for the last 30 years. All right. So let me point your attention back in 2018, for example, when it crashed to -10, it's below -8, right? The following month was well above average precipitation. And what comes with that, because with all the clouds and rain, is cooler temperatures, below average temperatures. So I actually went back and looked at all the data over the last 30 years where we had a sudden crash in September in the SOI Index. The following month, or right after that, we had above average precipitation and below average temperatures. All right. So if you go back and look at 2018, it happened. In 2015, it happened in October. If you go all the way down to 2002, it happened. If you go back to 1997, it happened in October, 1994, and also 1991. Every single one of these applies for the south and southeast regions. So if you live in the south, if you live in the southeast regions, I expect above average precipitation over the next 6 weeks, as this will translate in more lift off the Gulf and more opportunities for tropical moisture to filter into the area. All right. So I'm watching this feature in the Gulf. All right. It's not exactly a closed low. I don't think there's not going to be any tropical development that comes out of this situation whatsoever, but it doesn't have to be. The NHC only gives it a 10% chance, right? So this is the latest satellite picture currently. It doesn't look very impressive, but check it out on Thursday. All right. This is the satellite picture come Thursday from the European model. So this is what they call a mesoscale convective vortex that could translate into an MCV, a mesoscale convective vortex in a smaller nature, like kind of like a mini hurricane. Not much wind around it, but these are small closed lows that send out copious amounts of rain. Here is your latest dew points over Texas. So essentially anything over 70 is oppressive. And we're talking, there's going to be plenty of moisture in the atmosphere for when that system comes up into the south over Houston, potentially into East Texas. All right. So these dew points are in upper 70s along the coast, mid 70s, and even into the low 70s into the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So all along that track, and there's high pressure to the north, we'll actually steer it to the north and eventually off to the northeast. All right, here is your water content values on Thursday. And you can see once this thing kind of moves in, it actually doesn't kind of lose its punch because this is a kind of a closed core center. All right, we've been well above average here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and pretty much all of Texas. We're pushing 97 degrees over the last mid-month, 2 weeks, which is well above normal. It's 8 degrees above normal. In fact, it's a record. The all-time highest of September was 2005, was 93 degrees. So we've never been this hot. So what this is going to do is, as this pulls up north, since we've been so extremely hot, and once it mixes in with that cold core, it's going to send out copious amounts of rain. And these things are notorious rain features, and they're nocturnal because they feed off that heat. So once that heat mixes in with this cold core, it's going to produce massive amounts of rainfall. You can see the latest Euro model of the water content value, the available potential moisture in the atmosphere peaks at 4.7 inches. All right, Hurricane Harvey, Tropical Storm Harvey that went over Houston, it peaked at 7 inches, which is an all-time record. So you're saying anything over 3 is very difficult because water is very heavy for it to hold in the atmosphere. And then you get those water-laden downburst winds. This is extremely high water content value for this time of year. And I'm extremely concerned about some potential flooding into Texas and moving into the eastern states of the eastern parts of the Texas. All right, so let me show you the latest Euro model. And this is what I'm concerned about. As this system moves in, we're talking, it's been spitting out, and it's actually been getting more impressive over the last 2 days, where we're even talking up to 20-inch rain amounts. All right. So this looks like a little slow mover, even though this is not going to develop into a tropical feature. It's going to convert from a mesoscale system to an MCV system, a small closed core low. So wherever this potential MCV tracks over the state, which it looks like it's going to favor an over Houston track and move up I-45, potentially moving into East Texas. So all of this area, and you can see here, I kind of zoomed into Houston on Thursday. Look at these amounts, 22 inches of rainfall. So this is over probably about a 48-hour time span from, say, Thursday morning to, say, Saturday morning, depending on, as you go up into Texas. So I showed you the drought map. And so, one of the things in Texas is all droughts into floods and all floods into droughts. And it's either feast or famine around here. And, be careful what you wish for, because we literally have, 1 to potentially 20 inches in isolated spots coming into Texas this week, later on in a couple of days. So I'll be paying attention to this. Obviously, this is a serious situation that could be developing in the state of Texas to potentially bring floods into the area. I appreciate you guys watching. If you did find a value in this video, please consider subscribing to my channel. And I appreciate you watching. Catch me at the next video where I protect you before and after the storm.